What's happening, car guys and car gals? This is Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And this is Fred Lenartz, the subprime hero.
Hit that music,
Oh, you already know what time it is.
You know what you got to get doing, everybody, and that's starting to move around, starting to get yourself ready for that mindset medicine that is Car Guy Coffee. We have an incredible solutionary that is in the cafe with us, and we cannot wait to brew some more solutions for you. But do what it is that you know you need to do, and that's tag a car guy, tag a car gal, share.
Man, make sure you guys share this out. Tag somebody. Let them know that this show is about to get lit. We got somebody special. We got somebody that we've been looking forward to having on this show all year. Man, pumped up about it. Not only is he somebody that we love what he's doing out there in the automotive, helping dealers grow in their digital showroom, their most important showroom in the world, which is this thing right here.
Number one salesperson.
Right? It's the number one salesperson out there, and they're making sure that you go beyond mobile first at Nabthat. Yeah. I'm excited. They're also a new sponsor starting March 1st, starting tomorrow. Are you kidding me?
Announcement to all. We are teaming up with some more solutionaries that are trying to find a way to make life easier for not just the dealer, but for the customer. And if we find a way to make life easier for the customer, well, of course, life is easier for us. But with all the technological advances that are available to the auto industry, it is key that you go beyond first and you nab some of those solutions that Nabthat has for you all.
That's right.
We cannot wait to get this solutionary right here on the air, talking about all of the genius things that are coming from the background. And there's a lot of announcements and big things that are happening at NADA. If you are not going to NADA, well, I'm sorry. We are, and we'll
be there. We'll be live. We'll be interviewing a ton of special people. We'll be doing some probably live videos on our phone around walking around that whole area, letting you guys know what's going on. We're going to be sharing the stage with two others podcasts, some amazing people out there. Oh man, I love them all.
What is that? You want to show what the stage looks like?
Why don't you go ahead and show them
what the stage looks like? This is what it's going to look like, folks. Right over here, where you're going to be able to catch your coffee and your adult beverages. You're going to be right there at the dealer poly section. But if you pay attention to the front left corner
where it says poly, and
those two stools,
you see that little TV right there with the stools? That's where it's going to be going down. That's where we're going to be interviewing some superstars in this industry. We're going to be doing a lot of things, and that's going to be sponsored by Nabthat. That's right. I'm excited to have them there to do so. We're going to be sitting there with somebody that's actually one of the other podcasts is actually one of the Nabthat members. His name is Ian Nethercott. I love that guy so much. Him and Jeff Polo, they're going to be doing their show Auto Hub. They're going to be living it up there, man. They're excited about it. I can't wait to see them there. And then of course we also got Jason Harris that's going to be sitting there. I think you all know that guy also. He is the mafia boss down there, right? He's doing it and he's doing some amazing things, but we're excited right now to have somebody on the show that we really care about what they're doing out there in automotive, making a change, making it easier for not just the customer, but for the dealer to be able to communicate with the customer, right? So let's get into it, brother.
Let's go ahead and get into this. Let's get our guest out from backstage who's just over here watching us yakaholics carry on. Listen, folks, you got to help us make welcome. Go ahead and throw a coffee cup emoji into the comments or give us some hand claps while we welcome in the one,
the only,
Jason Silberberg. Woo! Welcome him in, everybody. If you're inside of your car, slap that leg and let your leg know that you're excited for him. So let's go ahead and get this rocking. He's got the cup ready.
Right.
Cheers to you, my friend.
Cheers, brother.
Welcome to the cafe. Thank you so much for joining us today. We cannot wait to get this show underway. Got that first sip in. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. All right. So let's get this thing rolling and grooving.
Welcome to the party. Hello, everybody that has been joining us.
We're pumped. Excited, man. This is going to be a good morning, good evening. Depends on where you're at. If you're on the West Coast, it's still morning. If you're on the East Coast, where I'm at, man, I tell you what, it is already afternoon. It's the last day of the month. So I know some of you car guys and car gals out there are just grinding away, trying to close out strong. Some of you guys may be, just ready for this March. This is selling season. This is NADA getting ready to happen too. So what's going on, Jason? Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well, guys. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
We're excited to have you here, brother. We're excited to share your story and hear a little bit more about you. Folks, we're getting ready to do the 5-liner with this gentleman. And this 5-liner is going to bring us his story, what got him in this business, a few other things. Eventually, one day, you guys are going to see a sponsor highlight with Nabthat. I can't wait to do that. But today, we're going to be talking about him, the man, the myth, the legend, right behind it, the co-founder of Nabthat. Let's get this thing going. Jason, wow, before we do anything, we do the 3 Fs, man. We drop these 3 F-bombs for everyone. It's the forgive, the focus, and the fly. It's important that we do this because in order for us to keep growing, that's the special recipe. When we forgive everything that's happened in the past, the weight of unforgiveness, the things that people have done wrong to us, and the things that we've messed up on, when we let that go and we understand that we have no control over the past, just what we do from this point over, man, you can start to focus. And when you're focused, oh, it's so easy to fly and just keep growing, right? So we're excited to do this with you. Let's get it going. This is part of the Solutionary secret handshake.
Okay, I'm ready.
On 3, everybody, car guys and car gals, and those listening on the podcast, if you're driving, put one hand on it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, forgive.
Focus. Fly. And keep growing. Keep growing. Yes.
There we go. Now we are ready to get this show rocking and rolling. We are there.
I'm excited.
He's part of the club.
Time to brew some solutions and get you with this 5-liner, man. No, seriously. We're excited to have you here, brother. Man, it's been a long time coming. We've been talking a lot lately, and I'm excited to have you sit here and get to learn a lot more about you. This is very special to me. This first question we're going to hit you with, it's an important question. It's the thing that we all should be worried about, thinking about right in front of us, our why. What drives you every single day to wake up and say, you know what, I'm going to go out and grind, make my company the greatest company that I could possibly make it, and be the best version of myself? What is that?
Yeah, I mean, I think taking, the number one thing that you want to do as a company is take on the interests of your client as your own, right? And being able to build solutions that can help your client navigate the ever-changing world of digital, and coming up with the ideas and the drive to kind of figure out what consumers are looking for and what dealers need in order to communicate and engage. I mean, that's beautiful. And our team is so great at doing that, right? At thinking outside of the box and putting things in there that even the dealer didn't think about, but we got a different hat on, right? We got a different hat on, and we're thinking about the consumer, and we're thinking about them in that context, what a dealer needs to do in order to communicate. Because at the end of the day, we want to grow the opportunities, right? When you have opportunities, you have the ability to sell more, right? If you've got no opportunities, you can't sell. And so our approach here is, how can we get consumers to give an opportunity to that dealership to sell them a vehicle or service a car?
That's right. So more opportunities, more activities, more people that we talk to or put in our funnel, the more solutions we bring. It's a crazy concept, folks, right? Making sure that we're doing the right actions that are connecting to our customers, and we're giving them options. I love that your why is fused together with how it is that you do simplify life. Like so many other solutionaries, that's what Solutionaries do. Solutionaries like my man Russell Hollywood Hill, who's up in here hanging out with us today. Can't wait to unpack this with you either, brother. And Charles Higgins, who's always at the pinnacle of making things happen. So excited to see you joining us today. But these are other solutionaries that are like-hearted with you. They try to find a way to simplify how people get what they're looking for already. There's enough clutter. There's enough muck and mire out there that people have to dig through. If we can find a way to help do the digging for them, present easy options, then bada bing, bada boom, we got car deals, right? We have a way to help people out. And that's ultimately what we want to do. We honor that you're here and that you are bringing your bag of solutions to the automotive industry. But let's go ahead and hit you with that. What is it that brought you and your solutions to automotive?
Well, it's kind of like a 180, right? I grew up in automotive, right? I got oil running in my blood, right? So my father, he came from Romania, right? So communist government, escaped Romania as a teenager, worked at a gas station in Germany with nothing, right? He lived there and ate as little as he could until he can save enough money to buy that gas station, right? Then he bought another one. Then he started fixing up cars and turned it into a pre-owned lot. And then one pre-owned lot turned into 2, turned into 3, and then all of a sudden he had dealerships all over Germany and then opened some in the U.S. And I grew up in it. Right? As soon as I had a driver's license, I was a porter, right? And I was a car salesman. I was a manager. I was internet when internet came out. And then I went off, right? I went off to university and got into tech and started building tech companies. And 15 years later, it all comes around, and I'm back in automotive. And I'm helping dealers navigate the tech world and come up with new solutions that they can communicate, engage, and create opportunities with today's consumer, right? And that's all happening on the mobile device. I spent 15 years in mobile, right? We created the first content management system in mobile back in 2004 when everybody thought we were crazy. Nobody's going to watch videos on their phone, right? Everybody had a Nokia device. Right? You remember that? Kyocera, Nokia, right? You couldn't play a game. It was like Tetris, black and white, little blocks going down. But here we are, right? 15 years later, and the mobile device has become a personal media hub, right? For consumers. It's like your wallet, your keys to your car. It's today it is the default browser for all consumers, and everything is happening inside of this device as an experience. And so when we look at an automotive dealership website and we're building it, we're thinking, what kind of experience are we bringing to the consumer, right? Because that's what they want to have. They want to have that emotional connection. And here we are building these products, and we're proud to be, AWA award-winning website platform 2 years in a row, 2020, 2021. And we're proud of, just kind of rethinking the idea of what an automotive website should be.
Love it. Powerful. Love what you're doing. I love that you got back into business.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the business. We need tons of this. We need all kinds of companies doing this. There's just not enough out there trying to be solutionaries for the dealer. There's a lot of people who are just pushing what's been already out there. What's different? What's going to be the future for our dealers, and what are we going to do? We're going to go beyond mobile first, right? I love that that's your quote, that's your slogan. That's what it's about. It's about being more than just mobile first, because it's beyond that. It's so deep. We're talking about VRs coming out. We're talking about metaverses coming out. We're talking about all kinds of stuff that my mind just goes, whoa, it's starting to like really go past my bandwidth, right? And I'm like, holy crap. And I'm a pretty smart guy, and I pick up things pretty quick, but yet I get the concept, but it's just like, whew. But we got to keep growing. We got to keep looking for the future. We got to keep allowing ourselves to be open to what our customers are going to be wanting in the future. With technology comes some great ideas. With technology comes some stuff that makes you go, I don't know if they're ready for this. Yeah, maybe they're not, but there is some people who want it that way. They prefer it this way. So what are we doing to get better that way? I love that you're in the business. I love that you're back. I love that it's in your DNA. You try to get away from it, but it's like a magnet. Sucks you right back in that back there, right?
Right back in. And I love it. I love it.
I could tell, man. We're excited about it. Your company's doing some amazing things. You guys highlight a lot of amazing people, and your process is really amazing. We're looking forward to learning more and more about it. So that's exciting. So that being said, we've talked about, what your why is. We've talked about what got you back into this business. You've always been in it. It's just what got you back in it, right? And man, it's opportunity, technology with today's world. Thank God for that, right? Because you'd probably be doing something completely different. Who knows? Mm-hmm. That being said, along the way, I know you've talked about your grandfather, you talked about people in your family. Who have been some of your greatest mentors to help you get to where you're at today?
Yeah, that definitely my family, right? My family has really shown me the idea of being passionate about what you do, right? And taking ownership of that. And when you can create passion out of the work that you do, you're not actually doing work, right? You're living and you're loving and you're doing the job that you always wanted to do. And it becomes almost a passion of a hobby of, something that you love to get up in the morning and get out there and create and do things. And, my father showed that to me, my mother, a lot of entrepreneurs who I worked for throughout my young days and GMs, et cetera, always showed me that having that passion for what you do drives that momentum to move forward and kind of, never take no as an answer, right? I remember that, right? I remember one of my first bosses told me, he's like, if you take no, for a salesman, the first, when you hear the word no, that's when you start, right? Otherwise, I can hire a waiter or waitress for yeses all day long, right? And I always kind of understood that is not just in sales, but in life, right? No is not the end all be all, right? No. You got to find out ways of going over the wall, through the wall, under the wall, whatever we need to do, right? But just moving forward, right? Moving forward and being positive and thankful for everything that we have. And especially in the world that we have going on today, right? Gratitude is a big thing. And I think we all have to have gratitude for where we are, right?
Absolutely. And we believe that gratitude is a gateway for so much. You can unlock so many different doors just by approaching the next challenge of your life with gratitude. Gratitude that you made it to where it is that you are. Gratitude that you were taught the lessons that you were taught. Gratitude that you failed where you failed. Grateful also for those mentors in your life and those that kind of help to guide and also kind of cut on you a little bit, right? That tell you, hey, that's not quite it, or hey, that's that's really good right there, and you should probably do some more of that, right? Making sure that we do have those I would almost say bumpers inside of our life to make sure that we never go outside of those gates of gratitude, because when we do find ourselves in a place where we're not thankful for where it is that we are and what we have now, we can't find a way to cultivate more things that are like that fruit, right? If I focus on what it is that I'm grateful for, I tend to find out, well, man, I end up having more of that. Especially right now, we're in an age where people are finding out about family. They're finding out more about their ancestry, how they got where it is that they are, right? How they're made up to where it is that they are right now. And this is what we try to pull out inside of this show, is an understanding of, hey, this is solutions and these are things that are here now, but these are the people that have encountered problems back then, right? You jumped out of automotive to see a solution to something that you can then bring back in. And this is a cycle that we want to make sure people understand, but you approached it with gratitude. Thankful for what it is that you learned, and thankful for even your opportunity to bring something constructive to it. Now, inside of that, we run into so many different scenarios, and on all of the five liners, just about, you've heard, and different people have explained where it is that they've kind of took some hits on the chin, some slugs in the gut, right? A couple of those fall on your face moments of life. But what would you say up to now, getting to where it is that you are, has been the hardest lesson that you've had to learn coming back into automotive?
Well, I think the humility of it all, right? The humility of going into an industry where you know nobody anymore, right? Friends and family were kind of already out, or on the way out, selling their dealerships and doing all of that. So, coming into an industry that really I had, I knew about and I had a great amount of respect for and understanding, but I didn't have the connections, right? And I think in any industry, you have to have those connections. So coming back into automotive and kind of, starting from the beginning in a way, was a learning experience for sure, right?
Heck yeah.
But that's what life is so about. I love that. The uncomfortable, right? It's like, it's something that you're familiar with, but you were coming in such a different angle. It's like us. I understand that. Like Lou and I, we've been in retail for so long, we forgot what it's like to be a vendor, and we went into the vendor side, and it's a whole different world. It is. It's so, even though it's automotive, how we approach our clientele, how we follow up, all the things are slightly different. Even the way that, the way that the dealers are, you have to understand they're not like in a situation in most cases where they're like, okay, right now, let's do this. A lot of times they have to sit down. Some of them have to sit down with the board. Some of them have to sit down with the general manager. Some of them have to sit down with their wife. It just depends on the size of the store, what their code of conduct is, or I guess chain of command is, not code of conduct. Be able to figure all that out. So it's a whole different world than just, hey, you're buying a car. Is there any other decision makers for it besides your wife? It's so much deeper than that. So there's a lot to grow, but you know what? That's where we learn to exceed and become way better than we've ever been, where we learn and we bring value to something that's amazing, like this automotive industry, by doing what you've done, bringing this technology, these ideas that are, though they're made for automotive, if it wasn't for the fact that you had the experience outside of automotive, you may not have these set of eyes to look at it the way you look at it now. And that's great. And we're very fortunate for that. And I think we're going to see more and more of that in the future, because of people like you who've done it, even though you're automotive in the past, you were not automotive for a while, you come back to automotive, it's familiar, it's different, but you're showing different things too.
And I have to add that, the team that we have here is incredible, right? I mean, everybody, our COO, studies psychology, we have psychological elements that are put into our sites, right? Because everything is this idea of, there is this experience that you're trying to create for consumers. So you have to have it. So our entire team, from our programmers to our designers to the co-founders, everybody collectively is the reason why we are where we are, right? And why we're doing what we're doing.
Teamwork makes the dream work, but leadership is where it's all, where it leads the ship, right? But the reason why I say that is that a good team could be great, but without the right leadership, that ship will go the wrong way. It'll crash in. it won't go where it's supposed to go. You know, you might get lucky like Christopher Columbus and find America, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really happen that way. So you have to always be a good leader. You have to understand where you're going. You have to be somebody who's willing to listen to their team, give props to the team like you just did, which is huge. Letting them know that if I couldn't be there without them, because it's true. We're only one person. One could lead 1,000 while two could lead 10,000. And that's important to understand that as a team, you're way more powerful than you could ever be by yourself, especially when the leadership is in there doing what they're supposed to do. So I love this, man. This is great stuff. You know, I'm gonna toss this one up to Luke, because there's this, with all these things that you learn, you've had a lot of, you know, lessons. You talked about your why. We've talked about what got you back in the industry again, right? We've talked about the people who've been around, all those types of influences. Man, with all this stuff, I know you've ran into some stuff. So Lou, whoa, right? So what? I'm gonna go ahead, Lou.
So we went with the as you answered, come up one of those harder lessons that you've dealt with, right? So we're gonna have to zero in on, now that you are where you are, what is your greatest reward?
Yeah, that is definitely, the reward here is to be able to build something that you're proud of, right? To be able to build and create not only a product that can solve a problem for our dealers, but to be able to create job security for our employees and our, and the people who work for us, to be able to create opportunities for people to grow, being able to create the culture, et cetera, of everything that we've been able to do has been wonderful, right?
And that is, again, a great reward. Like my man Brad Pascal says over here, Lou Ramirez, always nab that last cookie, right? Thanks, Brad. It is a great reward. I appreciate that. And I do, daggone it, I love some chocolate chip cookies. But seriously, though, they're understanding what it is that is actually that cookie, that reward, being able to fixate on that. And that is also a point of gratitude for you, right? Being able to be there, sit there, know this is what I'm working for. This is the victory that I have here. And then leaning backward, I love how you brought your team into it, because and we can't wait. We can't wait till we're hiring a whole bunch of solutionaries that are hanging out with us and that are helping achieve their dreams. And we're going to that level. But when you get a team together, unified to accomplish a mission, that victory is so much more savory, right? That reward is now shared amongst everybody. We like to consistently have what we call great news meetings, right? Where we're taking the great news that everybody brings to the table. That's what I love, potlucks, right? Everybody brings a dish that they like and they savor and they enjoy, and they're good at cooking, right? Don't bring something to the potluck that you suck at cooking, right? Bring something that's good, or that you're good at cooking, even if it's, simple, right? But with that, everybody bringing in their share gives more people to be more grateful about each other's bringing to the table, each other's collaboration, each other's contribution.
Yep.
And that makes the reward so much bigger, right? It's like, I feel like the larger the trophy, the more people that can hold that trophy together, that's a true glory moment, right? That's victory. And we honor that you honor them. And I'm sure that they honor you. Hopefully they are, they're part of the team that we get to meet when we get out there to Vegas with them. How much of your team's going to be out there with you?
There'll be a few of us out there. So we're looking forward to it.
Heck yeah. Well, it's going to be a blast out there in NADA back in Vegas, everybody. We can't wait to see you all there. A couple questions that I want to see, and this will be bonus shots on this five-liner, everybody. But we have an incredible creator. I'm getting fumbled with my words here. An incredible creator of a solution that's trying to make sure that you do get challenged to go above and beyond. So, Jason, while we have you here, help us understand, what is it that seems to be some of the hangups that dealers are having in making the conversion on their website? Like, what is it that is like how come you don't see why you need to change this? What are some of the hangups that when we're training salespeople, we're trying to narrow down on that objection that they keep getting hung up on. Why does a customer keep walking away from you when this happens? Here's a word track. Here's what you need. What's that like for the dealers that won't make the conversion yet?
Yeah. Well, I think it comes down to taking a step back and looking at things with, from the advantage of a consumer, right? So as a dealer, you're looking at your website every single day, right? Multiple times a day. And you're looking at it on your desk on a 42-inch monitor, who knows what, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're totally not the end user, right? The end user is a consumer who comes into an automotive website once every 2 years, right? For new car sales, right? Comes in once every 6 months, maybe for service, right? So you need to look at it from the end user perspective. And if you're looking at it from a dealer perspective, you might want this, you might want that, you might want to add, might want to delete. But if you're not going to take a step back and look at it from a consumer perspective, then you're going to miss the boat, right? You're going to miss it completely.
Boom.
Right.
And that's where we're getting kind of, it's like the pressure got put on to the industry, right? To start really just taking off the veil, stop operating in secret, right? Stop operating this way, because the customer is going to find what they're looking for. And no matter what the scale. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. And I was just going to just say that, when they look at it and they look at it from a consumer perspective, they need to look at it from a physical interaction, right? So, think about it this way. A great analogy would be that somebody drives to the car dealership and starts walking the lot and nobody is around to talk to them, right? Nobody. They just walk the lot. They have no clue about anything. They have no clue about a 0% APR special. They know no clue about a 0 down lease offer. They know nothing, right? It's the same thing when they walk into your digitally, when they walk into your website, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you there to verbalize and to communicate with them and tell them what you have to offer, right? And there's so many ways of doing it. And I think that's one of the ideas that we've always had in accompanied into our ideas, was giving the dealership the ability to verbalize and to communicate with the customer in a digital fashion. And it's worked out. I mean, our numbers are off the roof. Our opportunities that we create, the engagement level that we create for our dealerships, our dealers are our champions, right? And when you can have champions like that with dealerships who've been around for 18 years and have used every vendor on the block, and they come to us and like, you guys just think differently, right? Then we know we're doing something right.
That's awesome. And inside of that, there's so many lotions and potions out there, right? Of everybody that has a different solution for a problem. But we are convinced that hard work is really the only way that we're going to see the true results that we want inside of our life. But being able to take the tools that simplify that hard work that we're doing. And I believe that in many scenarios, the hardest work that we're doing is trying to understand the language that the customer likes to communicate in, right? What language are they speaking that gets them what they want?
Yeah, and jumping off of that idea of simplification, right? And simplifying things. I mean, look at Google, right? I mean, Google's been around for what? 1998, they came out with a bar, and all you do is you type something in and it gives you the results. Nothing's changed, right? They didn't add news feed in there. They didn't add anything. It's a bar, right? That gives you the information that you're looking for in a simple way, right? Right there.
Absolutely. Let me see. We got a comment here from Charles Higgins. How consumers interact with your website is different from how you think they do. And again, 100% correct. The customer that doesn't see this every day, right? Just to echo what you were saying earlier, the customer that doesn't see this every day, is just now dealing with it. They're just now dealing with this. And if we can remove the muck, figure out what it is that they actually need to do, and give them those options. I think what has often been the case with the all-you-can-eat buffet in the industry, right, is that there's so many options. There's so much out there. We would expect that the customer would be able to streamline and navigate through our mess on our website to get what they're looking for, where instead it kind of needs to be put on the tee. It completely needs to be pitched to them, what it is that's coming out there on the board for them.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, though, it is mathematical, right? It is kind of a formula, and you can look at it from different formulas that are out there for Internet of Things, right? 101. Look at like clicks, right? We know that for every click, you lose a percentage of traffic, right? We can debate how much traffic you lose, but we all can agree that you do lose traffic. So why not think of the idea of minimizing the number of clicks that it takes people to move or get to where they're looking for? Right? That would increase opportunity. right? Looking at other ways of like lead forms and how lead forms interact with a consumer. There's a high rate of abandonment rate if you look at the data, right? So how can you decrease the abandonment rate to increase your opportunities, right? So there is definitely a lot of formulas, right? Above the fold, below the fold, right? The way you lay out content, the way you allow consumers to interact with it, all has an impact at the end of the day on creating opportunities.
That's right. And creating a consistent experience, right? That's the only way that you're going to be able to find out what is it that the customer actually does like or doesn't like, and putting those best practices to work. Again, so much information. Car guys, car gals, those of you that are listening on the podcast, or those of you that are watching now live or on the replay, understand you have an incredible mind right here that is brewing solutions for the auto industry. There's a lot of big things that are coming at NADA. Do you want to give them a little bit of an aroma of what's brewing at NADA that they're going to be sipping on or getting the chance to partake in?
Yeah, we'll be having our 2.0 platform coming out, our 2.0 automotive platform built on really the best technology that is out there today. And it is built from the ground up, right? It is probably the most sophisticated automotive website platform that has been built since dealer.com did it back in the 90s, right? You know, no WordPress. This is all Angular and single page application. This is all big boy tech, right? Things that like Apple.com uses. If you go to Apple.com, if you go to Facebook, you know, you go to PayPal, Airbnb, right? $1 million tech.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, why not? Why not have $1 million, you know, businesses like dealerships have $1 million tech at their fingertips?
Selling high ticket items. I mean, man, you got to have that.
That's where it's at, my friends. Be ready. If you're not, I promise you, you don't want to be years behind. You want to be there. You want to be ready for what's getting ready to happen, because it's not getting ready to. It is happening. This digital age is down. It's been down, and it's going to keep going down. So be ready to be down.
Yes.
I want to be down. Anyway, so I love it. What a great show this was today, folks. If you guys want to get a hold of Jason, what's the best way? Just email you, call you. How do you prefer?
Yeah, I mean, they can call 844 Nabthat. Really easy, right? 844
Nabthat.
And our receptionist will pick up and forward and get me on the phone, or you can email me, jason@nabthat.com. So pretty simple.
Heck yeah. We appreciate that. Thank you, Facebook user. Facebook user, we can't tell who you are. We don't know which platform you're commenting on, but please let us know who it is that you are. We appreciate you being here. All of those that have been watching, that have been picking up what my man over here, Jason, has been putting down. Thank you so much for supporting. Make sure that you do go get more of that good stuff going to carguycoffee.com. Listen to the Solutionaries that are brewing solutions. Jason is not a one and done, folks. Once again, he is jumping in and backing up this message to forgive, focus, fly, and always keep growing. And instead of percolating problems, brew solutions. And we're so thankful that we get the chance to participate with incredible solutionaries like Jason. Make sure that you do share this around. Make sure that you do encourage others to be a part of this. And if you want to be a part of the show, you want to be a part of the fun, you want to be a part of the brew, make sure that you do reach out to us at carguycoffee.com. You can hit up Fred at carguycoffee.com.
Yeah.
Lou at carguycoffee.com. And if you just want some info, you can go to info@carguycoffee.com. And if you want to pick up the phone, we got a creative number too, just like my man Jason, and dial 321 Fred Lou.
Listen, if you got a question about Nabthat, reach out to us too. We can help you guys get aligned with Jason.
Right.
If Jason's a busy guy, so is a lot of people. But Lou and I, we're very busy too. But we're happy to assist you, get you to the right people that are ready to help you get to the next level in your mobile. Come on, man. Let's get your website right. Let's make sure your customers know how to get a hold of you. Make sure that they are easy to get a hold of you. Let's keep growing. It's beyond mobile first, my friends. Nabthat. It's beyond mobile first. Nabthat. Let's go, baby.
Here we go, man. Thank you, guys.
Hey,
really
thank you so much.
Proud to be part of it.
Well, hopefully you did have a great time, and hopefully everybody that's been listening to the podcast has had a great time with us today. Make sure that you do share this around, and you do encourage those that are with you. Happy end of February 2022. Cannot believe we are already 2 months completed inside of this year. Finish strong. Thank you for joining us today. I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And I'm Frelin Arts, the subprime hero.
And you've had the chance to be speaking right here with the Nabthat Beyond Mobile First, and we have been with Jason Silberberg. Yeah, having a great time, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jason.
Thank
Hang out
you.
backstage. We'll
Guys,
see you
give us
soon,
a second,
everybody.
listen, hang on, and we'll see
See
you
you guys
all
in
later.
Vegas.
We'll see you guys later on this week. We do have a show. I don't have all the guests lined up all the way. I've been a little bit behind. I'm going to be honest. We'll get it right, though. We'll let you know what's going on. We'll see you guys soon.
Stay tuned,
Peace.
everybody.
Have a
We
good
love
one.
you all. We out.